What's up, YouTube? This is William from W&J Wrestling, and this is Predict-A-Match for TNA Hardcore Justice 2012. So yeah, this is gonna be an okay pay-per-view. I dislike the fact that TNA has created a pay-per-view similar to like WWE's Extreme Rules, and in turn don't take advantage to make the matches, like hardcore. They have, 3 matches that are hardcore. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match, I believe, a tables match, and a ladder match. While the table and ladders matches are good, there's really nothing else special going on. The heavyweight match isn't in some kind of extreme bout, nor is the X Division or anything else, which takes away from the hardcore part. So I think TNA needs to look into changing the name of this pay-per-view if they aren't going to do anything with it. Alright, so first match is going to be Kid Cash and Gunner versus Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez. Kid Cash came out when Chavo made his debut on Impact, and then he was Chavo's first opponent when he made his debut match. So I guess this is the feud they're just trying to create for right now until they can find something to do with Chavo. He's probably not going to have any involvement in the title line until after the BFG series is all done and cleared up with. So, Hernandez just kind of came out and said, oh, he's excited Chavo's coming. And Gunner came out with Kid Cash, so I guess they decided to have a tag match with these guys for filler for the pay-per-view. So it'd be an alright match. Then there's going to be Madison Rayne versus Miss Tessmacher for the TNA Knockouts Championship. What's going to be the deciding factor in this match is who the referee is. If the referee is Earl Hebner, Madison Rayne is leaving with that belt and probably one of the most controversial wins you'll ever see. Otherwise, Tessmacher's probably going to leave with the belt. But I just see it being Hebner being the ref and Madison taking off with the title. Next up is going to be Kenny King versus Zema Ion for the X Division Championship. I think this will be a pretty interesting match. Both of them are excellent performers. But I'm going to predict that Zema Ion will retain. He'll probably cheat somehow. Just because Kenny King has only been in TNA for like a month now. And so he hasn't really gotten to show himself a lot. He's been in like a couple matches, I think, and like I say, just hasn't really gotten to show what he can do or show that he really deserves the X Division title. So I'm gonna predict that Zema Ion will retain, but probably going into Bound for Glory, Kenny King will probably get another opportunity and maybe take the title then at that point. But I can't be for sure. I don't really know. I guess we're just gonna see what happens, where that goes. Next up is going to be Jeff Hardy versus James Storm versus Bully Ray versus Robbie E in a tables match. Okay, so the way I'm going to look at these Bound for Glory series matches that are on this pay-per-view is I'm going to look at everybody's points. And that's what's going to be the deciding factor. So clearly Robbie E has no chance whatsoever of winning this match. Now, looking at it, could possibly be one of these 3 guys. It could be Jeff Hardy, it could be James Storm, and it could be Bully Ray. In my opinion, I don't think James Storm's going to win. Just because James Storm is in the lead right now and he has the highest score of anybody. Even Samoa Joe could win a regular match and couldn't catch up with him. But I'm looking at potentially Jeff Hardy or Bully Ray winning the match. I want to lean more towards Jeff winning. But there's also a good possibility Bully Ray could win. So one of those two are my picks for this match. So one of them is going to leave with an additional 20 points because it's going to push them up higher in the series. If Jeff won it, it'll bring him a lot closer than Bully Ray. But even if Bully Ray wins, he still has a few weeks to get his score up if it was going to be him. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. Next up is that Falls Count Anywhere match with Mr. Anderson, RVD, the Pope, and Magnus. I'm just going to exclude Magnus and the Pope from this because neither one of them are going to be getting a title shot anytime soon. So I just don't see it happening. So that just leaves us with Mr. Anderson and RVD. My personal pick is going to be Anderson, just because I don't care for RVD too much. I don't think him winning the belt again is really going to do anything. I don't see them having like a legitimate feud idea. If it was, it'd just be that same old thing. I never really lost a title. Same old, same old. Exactly what we don't want to hear. And just Anderson's the one I see them possibly doing more with. So we'll see what happens. Next up is AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe in a ladder match. And so really we're going to be cutting out AJ and Daniels. Clearly those two will probably interfere with each other during the match and just like knock each other out somehow, one way or another, because it's just looking like Bound for Glory is going to be those two to settle this whole pregnancy feud going on. And so we'll be looking at Angle and Joe, and it could honestly be either one of them. I want to lead more towards Joe, but there's always a good possibility Angle could come out on top as well. So my two picks for this match are going to be either Angle or Joe. Either one of them could take it. So we're just going to have to see what happens. Then last up on the card is Bobby Roode versus Austin Aries for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. Loser will not get a rematch. If my prediction from Weekend Wrestling is right, then Aries will retain. If not, then Roode, and they'll probably build up for Roode versus Storm. So we're just going to see what happens. It's a lot of unpredictability. Don't really know. Just got to wait and see how things unfold. Alright, YouTube. Thanks for watching.